Good morning, everybody. So we're waking up here. We're a little bit north of the bridge on the upper Mississippi, right by Cairo, by Fort Defiance State Park. I was Googling it, and it looks like that's where Lewis and Clark set up their little fort and trained their men for the trip they were about to go on. So it's kind of cool to be anchored out here and just think about that history, and that Lewis and Clark at one point were right kind of up here on the shore with their team at one point in history. And now I'm here at this point in my history. So just kind of cool. Kind of cool. Things you never thought you'd have do in life or have happen in this sailboat or just in general. So I'm gonna get up and get dressed, and then I'll be back and we'll get ready to head on up the Ohio. It'll be against the current, so I'm guessing we're only gonna make like 2 or 3 miles an hour, but we should be able to do it just fine. One thing we have to do though is we have to call the dredge. There is one-way traffic right before Olmstead Lock and Dam, they were saying on the radio last night. So I'm gonna radio up to them on channel 13, it said, and we'll see what's going on with that and if we can get through. And we'll push on. Well, we are making progress up the Ohio. There's some coal. We gotta wait for this barge to pass. There are definitely a ton of barges right here, so you got to be real careful and watch out. I didn't get to film right when we turned into the Ohio because there was a bunch of barges and current, and with the front of the boat weighed so far down, so this rear gudgeon is up out of the water just to make sure. Makes it a little tricky. The boat kind of wants to swerve a little more, but we're making progress upriver at about 3 miles an hour right now. We'll let this barge get by, and then we'll go at 4 or 5, and we'll get to Olmstead Lock and Dam. That's about 15 miles from here, so maybe 3 or 4 hours, and that'll leave us about 4 o'clock, and we'll be able to anchor and get up to after that, we'll go through the lock the next morning and then up to Paducah. We're going to take it in as little bit chunks as we can, so we're not trying to overdo anything. And then, because the faster you go, the more pressure is on the rudder. Whoa. So there's definitely a lot of barges right here once you get into the Ohio River. We're going at about 2 miles an hour right now. We're going to let this barge pass us. We can go 4 or 5, and that's what we'll cruise at. We don't want to go too fast because we don't want any more pressure on the rear rudder than we need. And with all that weight up in the front of the boat, it kind of makes it a little tricky because the nose is weighed down and the shape of the sailboat's kind of rounded in the middle. So by having that front part up, when the water hits it, it hits that side and goes round more instead of back and straight back. So it's a little tricky to steer, so I wasn't able to film right when we came into the Ohio River with all the barges, but we're going to take it nice and easy. Slow and steady wins the race. We're going to go up to Olmstead Lock and Dam. It's about 15 miles, so it should be about 3 or 4 hours. Once we get there, we'll kind of take it easy for the night, and then in the morning we'll be able to haul the lock and dam real easy. I wish we would have been able to start out a little earlier, but with the dredge up here and having to wait with the traffic one way, only go when we could go. So we push on, slow and steady. Barge gets by us, and go behind it slightly. Looks like this might be another looper behind us, but I'm not sure. So, wanted to check out Nebu. So we press on. Alright, we're getting dredging on the Ohio River. We get to go through. We got to be on the side closest to the shore. So their starboard side, or their port side, our starboard side. And we got a little bit of a wake here from that powerboat that went by, so we're trying to deal with that. We have a little bit of a tailwind, but I'm a little nervous to take out the front furling sail and have the tiller and be through such a traffic area when it happens, and I had to go forward and wasn't able to steer. So I'm just going to leave the sail in probably till Kentucky Lake, and then we'll finally get some sailing in, hopefully.
Dredge like a crab shoreline.
Hey, here we are coming up on the dredge. Definitely, I'm gonna have to say I prefer a wheel over a tiller. It's just easier to hold on when you have all the weight and stuff, or the big weight. You just hold on to that wheel standing up when you brace yourself. Here with the tiller, I'm sitting here getting thrown all over, and I end up holding the tiller with one hand, and then grab this with the other, and just brace, and then steer that way. So it's definitely a different experience, and then you're not standing up as well, so you really can't see as well. I feel like sitting down, I'm like, oh, you can see under the boom a lot better, but it just seems like you don't get as good of a view as when you're standing up. It's just easier to hold on with the wheel. Online, in the Great Loop group, somebody actually messaged, and they have a single pedestal that is just sitting in a shed from an old sailboat they had like 30 years ago, and they're going to try to take it out and see if it's okay. So that was amazing. I never thought that was going to happen. So Great Loops group. It's amazing the people that are in it and how everybody helps everybody just kind of fulfill their dreams of doing this journey of self-fulfillment and exploration. This is really cool that the people out there are like that. In normal everyday society, there's a lot of people that are just real shady and about themselves. And throughout this trip, I've just been amazed constantly at the willingness of other people to go out of their way to help somebody that's a total stranger. So it's really cool. So thank you to everybody that has helped me on this journey so far, and that's probably going to be a little more help in the future. So this is really cool. We're going to get by the bridge here, and we have about 9 more miles to go. We're going at about 4 miles an hour up the current, so that's not too bad. We don't have it maxed out. I kind of tested it just to see. Max it out, we would get about 6 miles an hour, but I don't want to do that and put that much stress on the rudder and the mount, being that it is leaking. It must have pulled back just enough from the transom again. Seal. I put some, I have a wax from a toilet seal that I went and put down on there on the bolts, and it's just got it at a slight little grip. But we don't want a chance of pulling it back anymore or anything. I literally had to go, I went down in the cockpit, or in the cabin, and I took everything I could find that was heavy and threw it up in the V-berth, so we know 100% that for a little while we for a little while we ended up out of the water. If we go like 3.5 miles an hour, but to get past this bridge and all this traffic, I'm going to keep her up here at 4.5. side of the river sandbarred out. dredging out that little channel, and that's what we had to wait for this morning, and I'm glad, because at least we had 6.5, 7 feet there. But that's crazy that that's happening to the river. You can see how down it is. I think up here the barges are just coming, and then they're breaking them up on the side.
25, that is good.
And I think they were running them through, but I don't know if it just literally silted out last night again or what. But definitely not going through there. That's why all those barges were back there with the little fleet boats. They were stopping them and breaking them up. There are some of the stranded barges. They will not be moving that one anytime soon. So everybody heard about it on the news, and we were reading about it way down here. Now here it is in person. Upriver here, since we were only going 3 or 4 miles an hour, I decided since the wind's behind us, let's try it out. Motor sail. I threw the sail out. Now we're getting almost 5. I don't have it out very far because I want to be able to see underneath it. If I put it out all the way, it comes way down. And so this way we'll be able to get a little bit more speed. Coming up to Olmstead Lock and Dam. We're going to anchor right below it on the port side, our port side of the river. And outside of the buoys there's an anchorage, and we radioed the dam and asked, and they said that's a good spot. So that's where we're headed. Alright. Better shot of Olmstead Lock and Dam here. We made it to Olmstead Lock and Dam. Over here is where we're going to anchor for the night. There's already another boat over there. So then we can call the lock and dam right away in the morning and see when they'll let us through. Hopefully it doesn't take a few hours. And we can continue on upriver. Everybody, we made it to anchor here outside Olmstead Lock and Dam. We're well outside the, where's the channel marker? Right there. So you can see we're way outside of it. So we are safe and safe. Safety safe. So, because the rear gudgeon leaks, and with the motor going, stuck under the water, I threw everything we had in the boat up in the front V-berth to get it out of the water, because when you go with the motor it sinks, and by doing that I was able to keep it up out of the water when the boat's going. So tonight I'm just going to leave all that stuff up there, and then I'll sleep back here, which I've done before, no problem, and then I don't have to worry about moving it back tomorrow. Tomorrow we'll make it to Paducah, and then to Green Turtle Bay, and repairs and happiness. So going upriver wasn't too bad. It was really kind of stressful there though by Cairo, because all the barges were just stuck there because of that shoulder out spot in the Ohio River. We were going like 3 or 4 feet from barges. It was pretty interesting. Parked barges when we were going 3 or 4 feet from them, not ones that were moving. So, if you guys have any questions about anything we did today, leave them in the comments below. Hit that like button and subscribe. It helps us out. I'll see you guys later.